Alright. We're live here. And the twits went out for YouTube. And we're live there. Alright. Let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, exhibitionists of all ages. This is the 20th episode of the Raw Cuts Gaming Podcast.
Woo!
I am your host tonight, Big D, a.k.a. The Naked Gamer, a.k.a. Long Dick Johnson. And I'm joined tonight. Hey, I mean, I'm just trying out new nicknames. I'll just see which one sticks.
Right. Just it's cool.
It's fine. Joined tonight by CJ, a.k.a. The Solo Gamer, a.k.a. The Trophy Hunter. And
Hey guys! Woo!
last and certainly least, we're joined by the Twitter beef making, hot taking, gamer mediocre, Woodsy, aka Mav. How you doing? What you got on? What you got? Hey, that's a nice hat.
We got and a shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that a buck
A
shirt?
1-2 combo tonight. What do you got going on tonight, Woodsy?
Well,
I want to see. Yeah, what is that?
My boy, the Trophy Hunter, hit me up with this tweet about this shirt from Cheesehead TV, which is Packers affiliated Twitter account.
They're
Shout
good.
out to Cheesehead TV. Even if you're not a Packers fan, they're pretty cool. Give them a follow. It's basically the radar or the targeting system, I should say.
As the Lombardi Trophy. Love it.
From the X-Wing from episode 4. Stay on target.
That Gophers hat is dope too.
Audio listeners out there, this kind of gives you a little nudge to check out the YouTube podcast. But what Woodsy just described me is right. It's like the classic grid screen image of the very old 8-bit honing in.
It's the targeting system.
It is. It's the targeting system from the original Star Wars.
Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah. And then he's got a Gophers hat that's all maroon with Gophers block letters also in maroon. Yeah. That is pretty tight, but it's shiny.
Shout out Kamal Martin, the one Gopher that's ever been on the Packers team.
That's true.
Since we've been fans, and hopefully we get Rashad Bateman in the draft. So
there you go.
That's your Raw Cuts football of the week.
We thank you for tuning in to the rarest takes in the gaming podcast sphere. And
good night, everybody.
Packers Gophers. Yeah, peace out. As always, we bring you our own unique takes on all things video games, all while recording and publishing our episodes edit-free because we love it. And you do too. We will be bringing you our podcast via all the listening staples every Tuesday, most likely, via Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Anchor. If there's one on there that you like to listen to, please let CJ know, because he'll take care of it, not me.
Fuck Stitcher.
As always, you can find our ugly fucking faces on YouTube at the Raw Cuts Gaming channel. Also on Twitch. I was better this week. I was on Twitch at least twice with Raw Cuts Gaming and me personally at noob_naked gamer. So, well, we took care of our problem with PR leaks. Oh, man. So this week, we, as always, have what we've been playing. We have our news. CJ has a trophy time update with, is this up to date, Siege? Demon Souls trophy guide?
Yeah, I was hoping to do a little show and tell, but I'm going to do a little tell more so than show, and hopefully a little show for you guys next week. So.
Okay. And then
Demon Souls, yep. A little Demon Souls update here.
We got a little What You've Been Smoking, Thanksgiving edition. And then Woods' pile of shame for Black Friday. I know everyone wants to get in on this shit. So
how many games?
Oh my god, we need the total amount bought.
It wasn't anything near the absolute bastardization that was the other week.
No, it was.
I did add to my pile of shame this week.
Oh, did you?
I did add.
But I did make my foray into pile of shame this week. So maybe we can touch on that a bit too.
Love it. And then at the very end, we have a special Raw rant. So we posted that on Twitter just recently. So hopefully you're tuning in to get an earful of that. And then let's get into what we've been playing. Woodsy!
So, without further ado, we're having a pre-recording conversation about what we're drinking this week. So without to drop a few hints about what I've been playing, I've decided to pair my games playlist with my drink playlist for the evening. So right here we have some Iwa sake, or I'm sorry, Japanese
whiskey. There you go.
Japanese whiskey. Thank
Have
you.
you been doing sake bombs?
And then from here, we also have Gekikan sake. And I actually do have. I heated it up in the pot upstairs, brought it down to the thermos, and have my proper sake cup. I don't know where my sake decanter thing is, but whatever. So I got hot sake and Japanese whiskey because I have been jamming on Ghost of Tsushima, and let me tell you, I am basically in love with that game. I've slammed way too many hours into it. The best way I could describe this game for persons who have yet to play it, ooh, as I pour that delicious Japanese malt whiskey. All right, it's the feudal Japanese Assassin's Creed that people have been kind of, at least fans of the Assassin's Creed series, have been wanting for years and years, combined with old PS2/PS3 series called Way of the Samurai. And what else? A little bit of Bushido Blade and a little bit of Tenchu. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've always been a huge fan of feudal Japanese history and culture, and content and popular media. Anything feudal Japan, I'm basically down to try to consume. So it's really great. I'm really loving it. I think the gameplay is excellent. Though I'm starting to get to a point where I might have to ramp up the difficulty because it's a huge game. This game is absolutely massive. I've probably put about 30 hours into it already and haven't even completed all the tasks on the first part of the main island.
Oh shit.
And there are two main islands, one which is broken up into two parts, and the first island you start on only has one part. So I'm almost through the first island, but I've sank 25 hours into it so far. It's a big game, but I really love it. Love the combat. Love the story so far. It's really cool. It does have some of those repetitive, like giant open world vibes, but I think it does
better or worse than that other game you were doing. I can't remember the one that from Lust of Shame.
Nier Automata.
Yeah, there you go. Because you didn't like some of the repetitive open combat in there.
Well, I guess that was for different reasons. I love the combat in this one. The combat in this game is like there's no such they're not bullet sponges like they are in Nier
so you're not
Automata.
just like hacking the guy with the same move over and over again.
Right, yeah.
And in fact, there actually is a really true mastery to the combat in Ghost of Tsushima. Like, you have to get good at it, otherwise you're gonna fucking die. It helps once you start getting good and then start unlocking like there are, it's hard to kind of describe, but there are numerable facets to your samurai that you can unlock and update RPG style for various skills and whatnot you can do. And those really help you progress and maintain your like durability and combat, so on and so forth. It's fantastic, but I want to up the difficulty because I feel like I'm trying to do everything on the main island, so I don't have to go back to the first island. Because I want to platinum this game. I'm in love with this game.
I'm glad you said that. So,
and it's a beautiful game. It honestly, probably one of the prettiest games I've ever played. Definitely the prettiest game I've ever played from an environment perspective, and one of the best uses of HDR I've ever seen in a game. It's absolutely gorgeous. So kudos to Sucker Punch, and I've also jumped in the multiplayer of it online, and that itself is awesome.
What do you do online? Is it tasks and shit, or are you like fighting other people?
No, so it's very much like the game. So there's a horde mode, but then there's missions as well, and each mission is like so there's there's 4 different classes, and you can upgrade your class through your multiplayer play to make yourself better suited to go into these co-op missions with your other homeboys and homegals. Whether you're doing a horde mode or whether you do one of the other missions, and the missions are set up a lot like they are in the game. And they have various objectives, and then there's like you get perks or bonuses as a team for killing everybody, not being seen, the time of completion, all this other jive, and that helps your overall score to get you more loot. Basic multiplayer loot stuff, but it's really good, and I really like it. I hope they do add a competitive mode in there because I feel like it's a game that if everybody was like level set with the same. At least like skill stats, or maybe slightly different ones depending upon, say, the type of samurai you were, because there are 4 different combat stances within the game as well, and you're constantly switching between those depending upon who you're fighting in a battle. So if you're fighting somebody with a staff, you'll switch to the sword stance that is best for defeating those guys. The guy comes at you with a shield, you have to immediately switch. Well, you don't have to, but it serves you better to switch to that stance that is effective against that enemy type. So I think it'd be a really, really great like 1v1 game mode too, like a la Bushido Blade, because it is very technical when you break it down. So I love it. I really do. So, Sucker Punch and Ghost of Tsushima, Kampai.
So real quick, before you get into what else you've been playing, I want to hop in here real quick.
Yeah.
I got quite excited when I heard you wanted to platinum it, because that was my question after you said you were playing it for so long. So one thing I want to try to hopefully encourage you on a little bit is 2 sites I frequent as a trophy hunting whore that I am. PSNprofiles.com has that platinum as a 3 out of 10 difficulty.
Really?
Really?
Only one playthrough needed with roughly 40 hours of playtime. And I don't mean to say that you're playing solely or anything, but just to say that like, the reason why I thought of this is because you said you were at 25-ish hours or so, right. 30 hours or so. So it sounds like you've been pretty thorough in your playthrough. So hopefully you've been kind of doing enough to get the required trophies.
Well, I wonder if I'm doing too much.
Well, it depends. If you're enjoying it, what does it matter?
If you're enjoying it,
everything on the fucking map.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds more like a playthrough platinum than 100% platinum. Then.
Well, and if you're that's 100% platinum, and on the other website I use is frequent and when I determine to buy games or not is howlongtobeat.com. Okay. And you go on there and it says the main story is roughly 23 hours. So that
the main story I could see that's probably
that's if you golden path it, right? So I'm sure you're doing side content and just sitting there AFK for a while where you're sitting there just chirping us and whatnot. Right. But it says like completionist, which is usually the platinum run on there, is about 57 hours. So that's 17 hours longer. That's kind of on the path you're on,
Yeah.
So those are 2 sites that I use whenever I determine if I want to buy a game. Hey, what does the game get on various websites? How is the trophy list? And how long does it take to beat and or platinum? So howlongtobeat.com says you're kind of on track for that platinum. So I'm pretty excited to see that. So yeah, continue on, man.
So I'll just be brief on the next couple. So played some more just Call of Duty with the fellas, and I think we jumped into GTA Online and played that for a little while too. And then I love hopping just like, especially at night where I'll hopping in between games or whatever else, or I'm waiting to jump into a Warzone match that you guys have already started or whatever, I'll just hop in and try to play some Tony Hawk. So, and there's more to come about Tony Hawk and the Raw rant later. So, we'll discuss that. But how about you, Siege? What have you been dipping your stick in?
So I'm gonna change my transition based on that what I started playing. I did fall down the old platinum hole recently. I platinumed a couple games. You mentioned last week that you platinumed your first game in My Name Is Mayo, and I did go on the PSN sale, and I was like, well, if Woodsy got it, I need to get this fucking game too. So, in you pairing your sake with what you've been playing, I have
a big cup of mayo.
Mayo stout.
Milk stout. Now, milk can be white, and mayo is also white.
Right. Mayo's made from vinegar and eggs. We're just gonna let that slide though.
Mayo can't be white, and milk can't be white also. It's a bit of a stretch, I know, but so I bought, downloaded, and platinumed My Name Is Mayo 1, and My Name Is Mayo 2.
So which one? I think I just did the My Name Is Mayo original.
You did My Name Is Mayo 2. So between there's not much to these games. However, that being said, there is a little something to the games to be played. I tapped the jar, the recommended 10,000 times needed to pop the platinum.
Right.
You do need to activate a few,
whatever,
various outfits and whatnot, which I didn't realize you needed to do. I kept tapping the jar, so I kind of extended the length of the platinum. However, I did trophy hoard out for 2 platinums, which also paired with me platinuming Astrobot's Playroom this week. So I mentioned that me and my daughter have been playing a bunch of Astrobot, and she was able to kind of, with my help, get through all the 4 different quadrants or whatever, each of the generations. So Astrobot is, I mean, once you guys get a PS5, it comes bundled in, and it's such a cool demo of the controller, but it goes through, there's 4 levels in the game and a hub world, and in each of the levels you unlock puzzle pieces which be put together to make a mural, and also artifacts, and each of the levels is dedicated to one of the generations, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in each of the levels you find artifacts, whether it's PlayStation 4, and then you find the PlayStation VR and the DualShock controller and the various artifacts that come with the PS4, and then the 3, 2, and 1. And then those artifacts go to a big room where you can go and then interact with said artifacts. So it's a really cool game, man. So it comes bundled with the PS4 or PS5. I'd recommend anyone who gets it, just give it a shot. It's not just malware associated with your PlayStation. It's actually a pretty cool game. So I did platinum that, which puts me on pace. That was my 49th platinum between those 3 games, which will put my 50th platinum at the game I've really been playing all week, which has been Demon Souls. I have, Demon Souls was definitely on the bottom of my list of Souls games, mostly because it was locked to the PS3. I had to borrow my brother's PS3 to play through it and beat it. But Blue Point did such a good 1-to-1 recreation of that world, and put so much care into the character models, and the world building. It's such a beautiful world versus the PS3. Now it was 2 generations above it. But there's little things they did, like one of the things FromSoft done and is notorious for doing is they don't animate the characters' mouths when they talk to you. So you go up to an NPC and you talk to them, and their mouths just stay shut. And that's even with even like Sekiro, like Dark Souls 3. But Blue Point made a point to really animate their characters, and a lot of the characters still do have the moving jaw. But a few of the characters, the really mainline characters, like the Maiden in Black, don't. So her mouth stays shut when she's talking to you. So it's just really cool things like that where these Souls nerds will get into it and really pull apart and find cool Easter eggs. So I've been playing a lot of Demon Souls also. And there is, for trophy time, I want to do something a little bit different this week. I've covered Demon Souls a couple times, but I want to do a little more granular. I capture some gameplay, but I'll hopefully have some a little bit more for you guys next week on how you attain certain trophies. And I know there's different places and outlets you can go to obtain some of these trophies. I want to show my gameplay of it and show you guys how to get there. So we'll cover the Fists of Legend trophy, which is beating the Dragon God with the Hands of Fist trophy a little bit later on. So Demon Souls. I've been playing a bunch of Demon Souls lately.
So CJ, I did just realize I did play My Name is Mayo 1. So there is My Name is Mayo 2 out there for me.
Oh my god.
So My Name is Mayo 2 is out. So I alluded to this earlier, with like equipping outfits and things. What they did in My Name is Mayo 1, what you need to equip is a little confusing. I mean, it doesn't take that much effort to figure it out. But what they did in My Name is Mayo 2, it makes it very clear what you need to do to go on the path of platinuming said game. So, Woodsy, if you're filling up for platinum number 2, it's a whole $1 right now on the PSN if you want to get in and tap some mayo and equip some whipped cream bikinis and some, I hate my dad outfits to the mayo jar.
Love it.
So, I like it.
Yeah, so Big D, what you been playing, man?
Nothing much to say for me. The usual Rocket League and then some Cold War. Been liking that. The multiplayer was real easy to get back into and start owning fools. Had a couple 30 and 10 matches. What was that, Woods? I forget. Might have even been like 33 and 5 or some shit on a couple of them. I was smoking some fools. That was a lot of fun. Still loving all the different maps. There's a couple of them that are huge. The one that's jungly, Vietnamese, not. I don't do too well.
Started out hot in that level, but remember you're saying you hated that map, and
I did, and then I found my way to the garage on the right side of that map, and then I owned everybody. It was hilarious. But yeah, and then I did start Ghost of Tsushima, so I
you
got
did?
to the. Yep,
oh, you did?
I did.
Wow.
I haven't had much time, so I basically got through the intro video and some of the intro to gameplay so that I could pick it up and actually play it at some point.
Cool. Yeah, so, it's great.
So I'm excited for that. My PS5
Come
comes
by.
on Wednesday. Yeah. Then
yes.
I picked up two. What's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I picked up.
What I wanted to say was with your PS5 coming, I wanted to give a shout out and a PSA. Out to Beast Mode USA, my brother, who you guys play COD with a bunch, but
that's true.
He was having the same problem I was having with Mortal Kombat 11 in Call of Duty, where he was playing the PS4 version of Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Cold War on his PS5.
Okay.
He bought the digital edition, so it wasn't even locked to a disc version that I was having with Mortal Kombat 11. But he was like, "I'm so pissed off right now because I was playing the game and I wasn't getting any haptic feedback at all." And he was playing it multiple. I mean, he was playing it. He was level 55.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit, but I didn't know if he was experiencing it. There is a way to just solve that conundrum on the PlayStation menu, but it's not super intuitive, which is the problem. It's not clear It's not especially clear what you currently have installed and what you're currently about to play. But I figured it out.
And for him too, or he deleted it and it re-downloaded on him, and he played it again on the PS4 version. So he was experiencing a similar issue that I was. So when your PS5 comes, D, just be aware that this is definitely an issue. And when you go download COD, even though you pick the PS5 version, just be aware of what you're getting yourself into, and do the little 3 dots and make sure you're playing the PS5 version to get the full haptic feedback.
For launching it, or is it for when I download it?
Either way, because he downloaded the PS5 version. He bought COD and he got the day one install and everything on the PS5 version, and it also installed the PS4 version, and it was being acting the fool. I thought it was a problem with me putting the disc in with Mortal Kombat 11, but it's also the digital versions also. So.
Okay.
FYI.
Yeah, and the only other FYI I had on that, just with Cyber Monday and shit going on today, was I did see a bunch of USB external SSDs that I wasn't sure on how much of an impact that would have. But Woodsy, what's your experience been on loading from the external? I know it's still faster, but do you feel like it would still benefit from being even faster than that?
Honestly, I don't know. Like I jump into Ghost of Tsushima. Doesn't take more than fucking 5 to 7 seconds to load anywhere.
Why is that on your external?
Not even. It's on my external because it's a PS4 game. So, and I have my PlayStation 5 set up by default to install anything that is actually a PlayStation 4 game to install automatically to the external drive. And almost the majority of the games still in my heavy rotation are all on my external drive. And I have to say, shit's fast. It's fast.
I may still do it just to compare notes with you on if you throw an SSD on there. Because theoretically, that should be even faster still than a spinning external hard drive. Because there's some killer deals out there today. I think
you might be right, but I mean, you have to just crunch the numbers. Like what's the throughput limitation on USB 3?
It was actually the drive.
Well, because it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Correct.
Is the drive slower than? Can the drive spit out more than what the throughput on USB 3.0 can suck in, or?
Let's see. So 5,400 RPM drives do 100 megabytes a second.
So it definitely can, because it. But it's fast, man.
And an SSD is 550, so it potentially would be 5x. Because I think the USB, I went through this on the other episode, but I think the USB limit is way higher than what the drive can actually put through, which is why I went into a whole thing with RAID and all that other shit to see if you could max out the USB pipe.
In either case, it's still pretty fucking speedy. All my games are on my external.
Okay.
It's absolutely fabulous. Like I
may try just throwing like a little one in there. I have a bunch of extra SSDs here at home that I could just flop a USB converter on and just download like one game to it and just see what it does. Something like Rocket League.
I mean, I have no problems with it, and the fact that it's 4 terabytes I like just because.
Yeah.
The 5 terabytes or whatever I have, I think it's 5, just because I have so many games on there and I could just.
Yeah, play them all.
In and out, and it's quick, man. It's quick. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess I could go look at my Pro and look, but like I thought the Pro had 3 USB 3.0 ports, but maybe it didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, they may have done because I think the problem was the 4 had 3.0. It was slow when it came out because 3.1 was already out, and now there's 3.2. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah.
Don't want to get too caught up on that.
Sure.
So let's see. So into the news, the PS Plus collection. So Woodsy ran into this week. So we had a bit of a poop our pants moment because Woods was being the world's greatest neighbor and
Robin Hood.
Yeah, Robin Hood. Well, not quite Robin Hood, like you said. It's not really stealing since you're paying for a subscription, but. Anyway, with your PS Plus subscription, if you simply log into a PS5, you can add, Bugsnax and some of these other PS5 games that you're entitled to via your paid subscription. You just don't own a PS5.
It's all of the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, and the PS Plus collection.
PS Plus collection.
Correct.
There's only one PlayStation 5 game, but
you're entitled to it via the subscription you already pay for. And but if you can only get to it from logging into a PS5.
They want you to buy the PS5, which you're unable to buy right now.
Correct, which is unfair.
Which is why I have no problem helping people out.
But we saw some news articles come down that like the ban hammer was coming out on some of these people. But Woodsy, you want to go into a little more on what was actually happening?
Well, Sony discovered pretty quickly that on markets such as eBay, people were literally in Craigslist and whatever else, people were asking like upwards of like $50, $60 to have somebody send them their login credentials for their PlayStation Plus account to add those games to their digital library effectively. Whereas like I was just being like,
nice,
hey,
doing
my brother, like Jared, send me your credentials. I'll log in for my PS5.
They did it for me too, because my PlayStation won't get here until December.
Right.
Hashtag at Shuhei Yoshida, episode 20.
Yeah, since we tagged PlayStation in the tweet that went out tonight.
Right. So, yeah, just it's terrible that people are trying to make money off of that.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's
gross.
If you have an active PlayStation Plus account, you should not be crippled by the fact that
you couldn't get a PS5 when it's sold out.
You couldn't get a PS5, right? Especially when there's like these
bots,
fucking groups of people who have bought in like 3,500 PlayStation 5s and are selling them for like $3 million, or like a profit of like $2 million. It's insane. Yeah. So,
they're looking for people who supposedly the way they're going about it is they're saying anyone who logs in and out of accounts, a number of times for your protection, and then they ban you. So and it's like, well, fucking make more PS5s, people can buy it and get these games.
Well, or
fucking let it fly, man.
Or let me log into PS Plus Online and just add them.
Right.
Like on a browser or
they don't
something.
realize that people share Netflix subscriptions, and they're like, "Oh well."
This was a total surprise to them.
It's an absolutely ludicrous policy to begin with, because even if you can't get you pay for PlayStation Plus, you should not be purposefully hamstrung by PlayStation for your subscription just because you couldn't either A, get your hands on a PlayStation 5, or B, were in a position to buy one in the first place currently. You should have, it's called the PlayStation Plus collection, right? It's not called the PS5 PlayStation Plus collection. So, Sony, you're in the wrong there. Fix your shit.
Totally.
And then the next one was also Woods. It was a performance comparison between Xbox Series X and PS5. So even though I'm assuming this one was about the Xbox having more teraflops because that was the only spec they hung their hat on, PS5 is actually outperforming it.
Well, this bled from the article that you had posted, D, to our internal chat, where Microsoft was doing an investigation as to why the Xbox was getting outperformed by the PlayStation 5. Still no word on that, but evidently it is.
Turns out the games are better.
Yeah, so, and people were saying, well, for Digital Foundry's initial comparison with Assassin's Creed, well, once they update it and it's better optimized for the Xbox version will be definitely better. Turns out that's not true either after the 1.04 update, which just dropped. Digital Foundry did the updated comparison on, and the PlayStation 5 is still outperforming it. So
I feel like this. I feel like we went through this when we were nerding out on hardware a while back when we were talking about like the bus speeds or cache or something is way higher on the PS5.
We were talking about, I believe, the input-output rate of the SSD, which doesn't really factor in here.
No.
It has
something to do with bus or something.
All of the custom architecture and the way the actual PlayStation 5 is doing all this weird proprietary stuff to these games that Xbox more branded Microsoft technology through like DirectX and all that other stuff. Xbox does have a lot more computing power, period. So at some juncture, they're going to figure it out, and games will be better. Some games will be better optimized for Xbox, but right now, in the short term, the third-party PlayStation games are outperforming the Xbox games, and it's basically straight across the board. So I don't know.
Shocker. I don't, at least not to me, because I feel like it wasn't. I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like it was bus speed or some shit. It had to do with how the IOs are getting to and from that card, and just because that card can handle more, doesn't mean that it's getting it to and from where it needs to go faster.
Could be.
Yeah, I can't. We found it, but I'll have to dig back into that and find that. But On the kind of that same note, PS5 initially is murdering Xbox in sales. So it looks like 4-1 in Japan, and I think I read, correct me guys, 2-1 native here at home.
Yeah, which is a bit surprising historically.
I am a little surprised.
Given Xbox's strongest foothold is definitely the United States and North America in general.
Right.
It's not a surprise that it's being outsold 4-1 in Japan. I actually feel like that's actually probably pretty good for Xbox over in Japan. But no surprise here. CJ?
I mean, to me, it's actually I'm actually the inverse of I'm surprised it's as close as 2-1 in America, just because there's not much to play on Xbox right now, and Xbox has. I mean, we've talked about it in other podcasts, but there's no real reason why to upgrade right now to the next generation of consoles.
But we've also just discussed previously, just to play devil's advocate, the benefit. I mean,
the hardware.
I have one place. Well, I guess with Astrobot, technically 2 PlayStation 5 games, right? One of which is cross-gen with Call of Duty. The rest of the games I'm playing are PlayStation 4, and I haven't turned my PlayStation 4 on since I swapped everything out.
Right. No, but I know, but what all I'm saying is PlayStation is at least giving you some options. Right now, there's nothing on Xbox right now, and Xbox's whole thing is you can play your games wherever you want.
Right.
So why go out and buy this console? So I'm actually surprised it's as close as it is.
So is this also possibly a math with supply chain deal now? Because
that's exactly what I was just going to get into. Because
if they're both sold out,
exactly right. And that's exactly what I was just going to say. Is
yes.
I mean, they're hard to get their hands on now. We've looked for PlayStation 5s for various people are in our friend groups, and we've seen the Xbox kind of hang a little bit longer on various sales. But by hanging longer, it means it's not sold out instantaneously. It's within
you might get it in your cart.
So
well, not the S though. The S is you can I remember you texted me a link. You're like, "Hey, this one up yesterday? It's still available." I'm like, "Yeah, pass."
Yeah, but so, I mean, but they still sell out, So I mean,
eventually,
the supply thing, So it's just interesting when it says PlayStation's outselling it by this much, but they're both sold out. So what are you going to do? So
I feel like it's weird news right now because it's more of a long game on the sales. Like in 5 years, if one is 8-1 when they're readily available, like that means something.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. But and I did read somewhere that PlayStation did have more available to market straight away than Xbox did.
Well, we had that story where they ramped up, a few months before launch.
Which is interesting, given the next thing we'll be talking about, or one of the next things we'll be talking about. I don't think though that. Market analysts have, predicted as much that this won't, unless like PlayStation just starts fumbling all over the place, or Microsoft really starts throwing haymakers. This trend is just going to continue from the PlayStation 4 domination over the Xbox trend is going to continue on to this generation.
Yeah, at least in the beginning, no argument there.
Well, I mean, it's Phil Spencer coming out saying, he hates these console wars, and he's been the one out there saying, "Hey, I want my you to be able to play Xbox wherever you want." I don't think we're covering it here tonight, but there is a rumor going around where Phil Spencer came out and said it, where they said, "Hey, are you guys ever going to have an app, a TV app, right, where you can just open your smart TV and launch Xbox X Pass or whatever it's called, Game Pass." So I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to put that on TVs, if we don't see that on PlayStation, before too long. If they're really getting their ass kicked 2-1 and 4-1, and
they'd have to pay out the ass to even put that on Sony's console. So I don't know if that would ever work.
But they could, but as long as they're getting your subscription money, I mean, it's money they won't be getting elsewhere.
You just end up with an Apple Store type deal.
But at that juncture, the rumored the rumored Games Pass Ultimate competitor that PlayStation already has cooking. They've admitted as such. Is why would they even play ball with that? They're just going to release their own.
So it'd be more to the point that I've made a few times is that Microsoft its long-term goal may be to get out of the hardware game because there's zero money in it. So that's why they're gobbling up all the studios for development. That's why they're doing all this shit.
It's 100% bullshit what Phil Spencer says too. We hate games tribalism, yet also breaks the record for the largest acquisition of a developer publisher in the video game market history.
Well, but
go fuck yourself.
So it's going to be it's cable, right? So if you want to play EA Play, you go to Xbox, and you want to play Bethesda games, you go to Xbox, and you want to play whatever, you go to Sony, and you have these 10 different subscriptions where you're doing HBO Max and Netflix and Hulu and all this bullshit. Yeah. It's Cinemax and all this other bullshit.
But the difference is, I'm not looking to. If I'm Sony, I'm not looking to put Forza on my PlayStation 5 to take away from my GTA money. Like, I can't log into HBO Go and have the option to watch Stranger Things or HBO Max.
But it's going to end up as almost like an Apple Store type deal where they just have to bridge that gap where Sony gets money from you buying Xbox things or Microsoft.
Yeah, but they're nah. I disagree. I don't think that's ever going to happen. You'll never see the Xbox app on a PlayStation unless it's exclusively for Xbox games and Xbox games only. And even then, I doubt it.
Well, and if that's the case, then they'll just stay in the hardware game. Right? It's really no skin off their nose since it doesn't make them money.
It'll be on your Roku or your
It will be on your
or your other bullshit. It won't be on
within
PlayStation.
Within a year, it will be on there, but we'll see what the PlayStation is. Time will tell.
So one of the other weird ones we had, speaking of PS5s, would be the fan noise. Some people have it, some people don't. So we posted this one on Twitter earlier today. Woods found this one. It was a French article. Don't know how the fuck you found a French article, but
Twitter, man.
That's the business, man. Woods is dedicated to his craft.
Woods is finding French language articles.
You're calling something else?
That's right. French titties. Oh, hey, weird. The ad on this French titty site is about the two different fans in my PS5. So, apparently there are two different models that you can get of fans in your PS5. There is zero way to tell which one you have unless you take it apart and look at the damn thing. We will update our Twitters and whatnot once we can find the aftermarket fan that is the right one, that if you're having fan noise or overheating or something, that you need to replace that fan, which is the right one to go buy. So there's one that's good and one that's not so good. So
right, apparently, which is weird. I mean, but that's what we're kind of alluding to on the last discussion, right? Where they ramped up their supply via their supply chain, and by doing so, they're clearly sourcing different parts from different the same part made differently because they're being made by multiple manufacturers.
Correct.
So, and I'm not literate enough in the mass electronics manufacturing game to understand how frequently that happens for other products, but I'd be curious.
I would think for, maybe not consoles, but I would assume that this is a normal thing for PCs and desktops. I need a stupid fan for this thing, so 8 million people will make it. So, next one, this was kind of a cool one. Just because I don't know of many examples of it, so I can't think of her full name right now. Woods will help me out. AOC was on Twitch tonight playing Among Us, and don't want to get into a thing of who you're voting for, but I can't think of many federal congressional people that are reaching out to younger people in this way, and I think it's kind of cool the manner in which that's happening.
This is like her second or third time, right?
Second.
So they ran a big promotion kind of pre-election with her, Imran,
from Minnesota.
From Minnesota,
I can't pronounce her name.
Yeah, I apologize for that also. But her and then but they were promoting Joe Biden's Animal Crossing Island with kind of funny, kind of one of the
Right.
sites we frequent here. So it's kind of a smart way just to kind of get it out there. Like, hey, a lot of younger generation are out there who don't typically go out and vote. To hopefully kind of, hey, here's our promotion. Here's another way of getting the word out there to, hey, go out and vote.
Yeah.
Here's who we are. We're not necessarily who your parents say we are and whatnot. So yeah, so another kind
I
of
think
cool.
it's. Sorry, so you go finish.
Oh, no, just another cool outlet that hasn't been tapped on as much. Now I know Trump has his own Twitch channel and other candidates
he's on
have
Twitch?
also. Yeah, I got banned. It's one of those things.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is.
But it's another outlet. I mean, it gets to Big D's dream of having running for president via solely YouTube. Another whole outlet of folks tapping into something where they're playing games and they raise like 150K or something by playing Among Us to go into charity. So for a couple hours worth of work. So.
That's cool.
So I like it and I don't. I like it from the point of view that, I hope more than anything else, regardless of party affiliation or leanings, that it helps stuff like this, both from the AOCs of the world and from whatever young Republican congressional or senatorial
Is there one of those?
person, right? If they're doing this to help drive political engagement, right? That's great because voting is important and paying attention to what is going on and who you're voting for and what their policies are is important. So I worry though that it could become tribalized like most other things related to politics and then become a whole nother issue like was the U.S. Army trying to recruit people via Twitch and all that other bullshit. So I don't want it to come to that, and I don't want politics to bleed into the video game sphere in this specific way. I mean, to say that video games are not political is a lie because video games deal with all sorts of issues
very much so,
in their narrative and all that other crap, right? But this is different, right? This is not like a narrative political issue or choosing what gender your character is or whatever else. This is like almost political recruitment, which for me is a no-no. I don't want that involved in games. I don't want any part of that. Like I said, if it's about just driving political action and involvement by young people, great.
If not, I haven't read enough of what they're talking about on here. I was hoping, to your point, Woods, that it's mostly just her playing games, and they're not really talking about much where they're trying to, not brainwash, but it's what you're talking about. There's this cool congressperson on, Twitch and shit that I do, and now I'm just going to go vote that way, right?
Well, I think it's trying to humanize themselves too, right? Because you see all these political ads, and you hear folks talking about it in the news.
Sound bites,
yeah. And
so
the
worst person ever.
I'm in politics. Here's what I do, but I also play games, and I'm also kind of an under-muffled person too. So to circle back real quick, Ilhan Omar. We flubbed the name earlier, and I apologize for that. And she's from Minnesota, so I wanted to make sure we corrected that wrong on our part, so I apologize for that earlier. So.
All right, next one. I had the Super Mario World theme park opening in Japan. Did you guys take a look at the pictures?
I did not.
It looks amazing.
Oh my god, go click on it. It is dope as fuck. They have somehow. You guys got to go look. So click on the link. CJ, you should while I'm talking here, tweet that out quick because that thing's cool. You guys need to go look at this shit. They have somehow managed. Like, you're going to look at the pictures and think that you're looking at, like, a computer model of what this should look like. It's not.
Oh, wow.
They've actually made this theme park look like Super Mario World from Super Nintendo and the graphics and everything. They've somehow recreated that in real life. When I look at the pictures, I don't believe it. I actually had to read that those pictures were real too, because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, it's a video game. But yeah, that's the point.
So,
and then apparently,
from what I understand, though, is it is in Japan, but they're looking to bring it elsewhere. I think into the
really?
U.S. and it's a number of years away now. It was at least pre-COVID, but they are looking to bring that stateside. So,
nice.
Man, it looks so fucking cool. I mean,
yeah, and it's got its big thing is a roller coaster, and apparently you have to wear AR goggles when you ride it. So I'm assuming that there's fucking piranha plants and shit, and there's got to be all sorts of shit you must do when you're on the coaster.
It's too bad. They should do a collaboration with Sega because the Sonic the Hedgehog roller coaster,
dude. Well, the thing about it, if this thing takes off, that's next. That's next.
Yeah,
it'd be not only AR, because I'm assuming this first gen is just going to be kind of, hey, I'm looking off in the distance and the piranha plant's coming out of the pipe over there, right? But to your point, all of a sudden, it's a real life AR video game, like what they're doing with Mario Kart and shit.
Yeah, I don't remember when you guys have gone to the theme parks, whether it's Disney or Universal or whatnot. But we went pre-kids, so plus 7 years ago or whatever it was now, and they had 3D things there where it was Spider-Man 3D and whatnot, and it was fucking amazing. And that was a number of years ago now. So I can only imagine how far tech and whatnot has come. So this looks so cool. Go check it out. Go hop on a Mario Kart and go buzz around. And hopefully we can travel and go to theme parks again soon. So.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, I think they can in Japan because
they took care of their virus problem.
They did
by behaving themselves and not pretending that it was fake. So rolling into Cyber Monday. So I mentioned it before. So they had some. I saw some ridiculous deals today. If you guys want to go snag them for external SSDs on Amazon, 1 tera was $139, 2 teras was $239. Fucking crazy. Saw a bunch of gaming chairs, and I just wanted to throw it out there quick. If you guys had ever used one, and what your thoughts were, because I saw that they were on 50, 60, 70% off again today too, and just didn't know if anyone had experience with them.
So oh shit, no, I can't see it, but I have a GT racing chair, and it's a pretty nice chair. It's pretty comfortable. But
now, how much was that?
It was about, I think I got it on sale at some point for about $120.
Okay. So still less than a regular office chair.
Yeah, exactly.
A nice one. A nice one.
Depending on the quality you get.
Yes.
It's fine. It's not like life altering or anything, like that. So the one I bought, I'm so on. I read a bunch of reviews on it. It was like the highest rated lower end gaming chair you could buy. Lower end being like, still $120, but I'm so on this chair so far. So
okay.
And that was one of the chairs I saw IGN Deals tweet out about. So it's a pretty decent chair, but it wasn't like this like earth shattering chair that I was hoping it would be. So
interesting. Well, lots of deals on them left today. And then I had one thing just to make Woods mad. So the developers on Xbox Series S have already gotten PS2 games working on an Xbox Series S. So these are developers running their Xbox in developer mode, working on an emulator. These are fucking nerds with nothing better to do, getting PlayStation games to work, and they've done it on an Xbox Series S before Sony has.
If they can get the you said PlayStation 2 games though?
Yeah.
So if they can get the PlayStation 3 games working on there with this the cell processor or whatever, that's what I'm more curious about.
Yeah.
But in general, Xbox has this whole backwards compatibility thing worked out quite slickly, and the whole smart delivery thing, which PlayStation clearly doesn't have aligned. But it would be great to have the whole collection readily available on my PlayStation 5. But that's not so.
So then I wanted to do a quick Thanksgiving edition of What You Smoking.
Woo!
I'll let Woodsy go first on his turkey.
Rined the turkey for 24 hours, smoked it, turned out great.
What
fucking
temps?
Xbox will get in the PlayStation 2 games working.
No, don't get into it. Don't get into it.
Back on it. You said it was a article pissed me off, and you didn't even let me comment.
I know. I wanted you to hold it in for your raw rant.
I've been bitching about that shit for months. Get your shit figured out, Sonny. Fuck you in the ass. Fuck you right in the ass. I love my turkey. It was great. I'm enjoying leftovers. I'll get rye bread so I can make some Rachel's, and I made some awesome leftover turkey ramen tonight, and that's all I got.
Dude, I've been making some killer Rachel's. What temps did you do, Woodsy? I forgot. You did higher than I did.
So mine was like a 16-pound turkey, and I brined it. I injected it with
bacon,
grease, and butter that I had infused with. My wife went to I was like, hey babe, I fucking didn't realize we didn't have rosemary, and I'm like, hey babe, would you mind running up to Whole Foods or wherever and getting some rosemary? And Whole Foods is open, so she ran up to Whole Foods, and she comes back with like this fucking like tree of
Christmas
rosemary.
Christmas tree of rosemary.
Raw Cuts Gaming to see the picture.
It was a fucking tree of rosemary.
I loved it.
Which is great. Which, by the way, like, if you ever go to Spain, certain places in Spain and Italy and France, like you find rosemary is very abundant in the Mediterranean. Like they make hedges out of fucking rosemary bushes out there.
Amazing.
So it smells great, right? But no, yeah, she bought a fucking tree of rosemary.
That's awesome.
So I was cutting off those sprigs and infusing my butter bacon injection mix with those. So injected that turkey nice and good, basted it real pretty with a bunch of butter and fat and other seasonings. And yeah, man, I smoked that thing. I think I started it at I threw it on as I was just impatient as it was climbing. So I threw it on at like 260, let it climb to my temperature of 310. Was it 305? And then I bumped it up to like 315, and then I bumped it up to like 325 to finish it off. Skin turned out fine. It wasn't quite as crispy as I wanted it to be, so I should have turned it up a little higher. But I pulled that bitch right at 165 like you were supposed to do.
Yep.
Let it rest for like 45 minutes. Cut it, and it was golden.
Yeah, delicious. That's awesome. I brined mine for a full day. Kind of the same deal, just simple salt, sugar, a little apple cider vinegar, just so it keeps everything loosey goosey.
What'd you brine it in?
A cooler, because
it didn't. Or you just leave it outside, or how did you keep the temperature? How did you?
I kept putting ice in that bitch.
Really? So was yours completely all the way thawed out before you put it in there?
I was thawing it in the cooler in the bag.
Yeah. So I completely submerged mine. It was fully submerged in my brine, which was in a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket.
Oh, that would have been a good idea too. I should have done that. That would have been a lot less brine.
Yeah, it was a lot of brine, but it was outside, and I mean it didn't get above 34 degrees, and there was still ice in the center of that fucking bird.
Mine I feel was a little frozen when I put it in the brine Wednesday. So, gotcha. And then I did something very similar to Woods. I made a bacon grease, butter, and spice mixture that got injected into that bastard. And then I was doing, was it 325 from the start? And for even a 24-pound bird on that smoker, it was saying that I should expect 15 to 18 minutes a pound, which put me at putting it on at like 11:30 to take it off at 5:30, and by about 2:30 I was staring down about 135, 140 at the breast. I had to turn that shit down because I'm like, I'm not eating at 3. This is some bullshit. I got 2 little kids. Ain't nobody eating at 3 in the afternoon, especially when we're by ourselves. So I think next time what I would do is I would do what we do for other things. I'd start that bitch at like 180 high smoke for like an hour or 2 just to get all the smoke in there. And then I'd crank that bitch up to 350, and that whole cook would probably take 2 hours or 3 hours. So I'm going to test that out. I grabbed one of them day after Thanksgiving birds for super cheap. 95 cents a pound or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like another $20.
I got so much beef in my goddamn meat locker. I didn't. And I still have like 8 pounds of turkey left over right now.
I do too. So I've got that plus another 20-pounder in the freezer.
We did not smoke a turkey. I don't have a smoker. We were planning on getting together with family for
No,
for
it's not that CJ doesn't have a smoker
yet.
His smoker is in process.
It is in process. I've been laying that seed. Hey, what can I get you for Christmas?
I've been laying a lot of seed.
So we were gonna get together with my in-laws, and it didn't work out because of COVID and coronavirus. So we decided to do a food swap. So I prepared a bunch of sides, and my brother-in-law Phil Demeraux brought over half of a turkey. So we got half a turkey. He does have a smoker, so he smoked that bitch. He did not do the bacon, although we did meet up with them this past weekend to go for a little hike, and I did say, hey, next time you smoke a turkey, put some bacon fat in that bitch.
Worth it.
He did a good job smoking it, so we did have half a turkey pretty well smoked. So go check out the Raw Cuts Gaming Twitter handle. There's a nice long thread there. Bunch of friends who posted their smoked turkey and their cooked turkey line that thread. So,
and we got to give a shout out to our boy Dirty D, our follower, listener, and friend Dustin.
Hopefully,
he held it down on T-Day, man. I ain't gonna lie, I think he wins, man. This mofo smoked a turkey, some frog legs, some bacon wrapped pheasant.
Yes, he did.
And he smoked some salmon and homemade venison sausage. So this motherfucker went hard on the paint.
Dustin did win.
And then tonight he made a leftover Thanksgiving Day meal fucking pizza.
Yeah,
with
Thanksgiving
mashed potatoes
pizza
and gravy and all the whole night.
The gravy was the base, so there's no funny business there.
So
and he said country gravy on half. Which
Dirty Dustin
sounds
was
amazing.
the chip.
And he made the dough too. He was.
I did make a bomb ass gravy though. I made a red eye turkey gravy.
Ooh,
so
a little coffee in there.
Yeah.
As long as you don't make the brown eye turkey.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he usually does.
Jesus Christ.
All right, CJ, can we do Trophy Hunter after Pile of Shame? Because then we'll flow right into Woodsy shit. Woodsy, what did you buy on Black Friday?
So I bought Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I already owned it on disc, but it was like $12 on digital, so I bought that shit. Resident Evil 3.
You got really scared at the other one.
Yeah,
what are you buying another one for?
I still gotta finish that bitch out. I played Resident Evil 3 though. I still haven't finished.
Man, those games are awesome. Play them, platinum, man.
And then and I know we've talked about them and besmirched their name and drugged them through the mud, and rightfully so. But I did buy the Control whatever complete ultra blah 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 edition that comes with the free PS5 upgrade, because I wasn't gonna get dicked over by all those people who are gonna get dicked over, and I'm sorry for them, but I'm not sorry for me because I bought that shit for $20. So,
have you beat Control? Have you played it?
I did borrow Control from a good friend John. Shout out to John. I borrowed that and I beat it on the disc. So I have beat the original game, but I haven't touched any of the DLC. And this will include the DLC and all of the performance upgrades and all that other stuff for the PlayStation 5 whenever that version of the game releases. So, yeah.
Okay. And then I think what we'll do is we'll let CJ go Trophy Hunter and we'll close out with Raw Rant.
All right.
So I did add a little bit to the pile of shame this week. So I also bought Crash Team Racing. I did a similar thing to you, Woodsy, where I also bought Hitman 2. I owned that game already, but I have it on disc, and I don't want to run into the problem of I have one digital, I have 2 discs, and I was going to buy 3 on digital also. So I said, fuck it, I'll pay the $10 for the digital version of it. So So yeah. So trophy time. I know I've covered Demon Souls a couple times now, and I did some gameplay capture. Next week, tune into the YouTube channel and this show. Hopefully, I'll have a little bit of gameplay for you guys to show you guys. But I want to show you guys the Hands of Legend trophy on Demon Souls. It's go check out my Twitter handle at CJ Reindl. I posted a little 30-second trophy clip of it. You can kind of get the sense of scale of the Archstone bosses you have to fight in this game, where you're just basically the size of the chin on their horn. You're this big, and they're infinitely bigger, and it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to beat this boss? So to beat
cut
the
his
boss,
dick off.
I mean, the interesting thing going back and playing Demon Souls, it originated with Demon Souls, it evolved to Dark Souls, and since then they've branched off to Bloodborne and Sekiro, and kind of mixed in there. So playing through Demon Souls, a lot of their bosses are puzzle bosses. So when they came around to Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro, you beat a boss in Sekiro, you kill them, you get hype, and all of a sudden their life bar goes all the way back up, and they have an entire another hidden life bar that you have to get through to kill the boss.
Oh, motherfuckers.
And all in between, you hit them, and 6 vertical pixels, burn away on their health bar, no matter what weapon you have. Going back and playing Demon Souls is a little refreshing, because you go back and you hit the boss with a decent weapon or a spell, and a big bar of their health goes away, and there's none of this bullshit like regenerating their health bars and whatnot. And a lot of them are puzzle bosses. So
I like those a lot better.
The Dragon God, you're literally the size of the horn on his chin. So imagine it's this big giant dragon. He's sitting in a pool of lava, and he can either spit fire at you, he can smash his hand at you, he can one-shot you. But what you got to do is you got to run through his arena, and there's pillars along your way. So what you have to do is find where you can hide while he's looking around, trying to find you. And then when he's looking away, you run forward, you smash a few pillars, and then get to the next safe zone. And then in between there, he can smash his hand and one-shot you or whatnot. And then you get to these big ballistas, and you shoot these big arrows at him, right? So you can shoot this big arrow at him, it chunks off almost half of his health. Then you do the same thing where you run down below, and you're going through, and you're trying to find out where you can hide. And all along, you can't hit him with any of your weapons or any of your spells or anything, but you're hiding, and you're breaking down these pillars, and you get to the next ballista, and you shoot him, and it takes all of his life. And then he falls forward, and this is what I wanted to show folks, was for the Hands of God trophy. So you get a trophy for beating this dragon, but you also get a trophy for equipping a specific weapon. It's called the Hands of God. It's like these things, you can have swords, or axes, or whatever, or spells, or bow and arrows, whatever cool shit you want to do. But if you equip this specific weapon, it's just it's just like these gloves you put on your hands. You can go over and punch his horn that's laying on the boss floor ahead of you. So he ends up flopping forward. He can't attack you other than every time he exhales, exhales lava onto his horn. And so just don't hit him whenever he exhales. Just stand back a little bit. And then once you see that horn stop glowing red, go over there, punch it a few times, and then back up, and then rinse and repeat until his health is gone. Go check out at CJ Reindl on my Twitter handle, or any slapdick on YouTube, who posts a bunch of other videos.
Hey,
but if you want to get
those other slapdicks are not you.
Hold up,
they're not me. So if you want to go,
I got one question.
Yeah.
Why you be hating on this dragon, man? All he's trying to do is just max out in his lava hot tub, bro.
So
and you hate on him.
So
you come into his house.
Come to
kill him.
So he's getting his hot tub time. He's trying to relax. Got motherfuckers like you.
So if you remember, the trailer for Demon Souls, it's like the big dragon. When that dragon picks his head and starts screaming or whatever. That's the scale. So in Demon Souls.
Is the lead up to that scene where he's looking into the camera. He's got his magazine on the side of the fucking lava pit, and he's like, God damn, it was a hell of a week at work. I just want to chill the fuck out. kick it back and relax in this lava pool and just goddamn fucking
and here comes
recharge.
This little bitch trying to break my heart.
So you run through these boss levels, and a lot of times you'll find items in the boss arena, and you'll find these items where you can crush for more souls, and it's like soul of a great warrior or something. So that like tells you like, hey, this is some other person who died in this arena, and here's their soul. So, but what Demon Souls really does well is size of scale. Because you're always just this little peon compared to this big boss. But a lot of times it's just a puzzle of, hey, what do I got to do to beat this boss? So to get the Hands of Legend trophy, equip the hands, shoot the ballistas, run up and punch his little chin when he's not breathing out fire, and you'll pop 2 trophies pretty quickly. So next week, tune in. I'll hopefully have a little gameplay recorded, and I can do a little share and tell on the old YouTube channel.
Ooh.
So if you want more so than just listening to our sexy voices, and you want to see our faces and maybe a little bit of gameplay, you can probably check out our Twitter handles or check us out on YouTube.
Or you can find Woods on OnlyFans for some ass play. Hashtag gameplay. Woodsy, I want to hear about how you took a massive shit on PlayStation support today, and you owned some Karens.
Well, I didn't.
They
own
owned you.
Karens.
We haven't owned him yet.
He was the Karen.
No.
Oh, he got shit on.
So, get circling the wagons way back to the start of the episode where I was talking about one of the games I had played was the Tony Hawk remaster. I realized after having played it that I meant to procure the digital deluxe edition, which includes like the what do you call the Death is his name with the sickle, right? As a skater and some of his moves, and then it had a bunch of like throwback like old school skins for like Tony Hawk and some of the other dudes, and some other shit you could wear that was more old school. And I meant to buy that and realized after I had been playing it for a week that I hadn't. So I called PlayStation support. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? This seems reasonable. I accidentally purchased the regular version when I meant to purchase the digital deluxe edition. Both are on sale during the Black Friday sale or whatever. The plain Jane version was $30 or $29.99, and the digital deluxe was $34.99. So difference of $5. I'm like, not a big deal. They'll figure out a way to make it right. Hook me up. I'm trying to give them my $5. Apparently, that was too much for them. So, PlayStation's policy is that if you purchase a game digitally from their store, that if you download it, and I guess I'd have to just read up more about it to discern between if you download it or if you download it and you play it. But if you download it and play it at all, you're shit out of luck. They will not refund you your money. Now, I wasn't even looking for a refund.
You wanted the expansion for $5.
Well, I wanted the digital deluxe edition for an additional $5. And it has a separate license from the original version of the game, which I get. I'm like, okay, fine. Refund, like you can see, this digital deluxe edition is in my cart. It's in my cart. I want to buy it because it's still on sale. Let me buy it and give me my $30 back. And I'm going to give you an extra $5. And they said no. And not only did the first lady say no, but then when I requested to talk to a manager and explain to them the ridiculousness of a policy that is so rigid that it will not allow me to give them more money.
Right. Because that's really dumb. Like, even if you, like what if you would have bought the game first? Like, I would understand that policy. Like, hey, we can't refund you until you buy the next one. Supposedly, had I not played the game, even though it's the exact same game. It's the exact same game. So,
If
is there any way for them to
they
know?
would have been able to refund it. Yes, I have trophies and shit. So
Yeah,
that.
but if you buy the deluxe edition and tell them you accidentally bought 2 versions of the game, you've played the digital deluxe version.
I'm not, but that's the thing, D. That's then me taking a $35
yes,
gamble.
it's true. You have no reassurance that would work. Correct.
When it should just be a $5 switcheroo. It's a ridiculous policy. And this goes back to a beef that I know CJ had as well, where you have all of these scenarios where there are digital deluxe editions of various sorts or whatever the fuck, and you cannot buy that content separately from the main game. Now, that is actually on the publisher of that game, so I did also tweet out at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to be like, yo, you should be selling this content separately, because I'm trying to buy it, but I can't because I'm not going to pay $35 fucking for the same goddamn game. So,
yeah. So I ran into a very, very similar problem where, I mean, it's on me. I bought Demon Souls, the game I'm just waxing poetic about. I just bought the base game because I saw they had a digital deluxe edition. I'm emphasizing that word because I looked at it and it's like, here you can buy this soundtrack and you can get this armor set and you can get a few extra souls and things, and I'm like, well, fuck that, man. I don't need all that shit. So I bought the base game. I started playing through it and kind of was digging into trophy requirements, and I'm probably about halfway to 2/3 the way through the game right now, and I'm looking at the requirements to get the platinum, and it's obtain all rings, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I know what rings I need to obtain. They're all relatively attainable. However, with the remastered edition, they introduced multiple new rings. So with said rings they introduced 2 new rings. And one of the rings is only available if whenever you create a player, you can select an item. You can select a starting item. And it's only available in buying the digital deluxe edition or getting it through the item you selected when you created your character. Now, when I created my character, you can't get it. You cannot get it in game otherwise. So if you don't pick this ring and you play through the game and beat it, there's literally no way for you to get the platinum, other than restarting a new character and going through and getting all the same rings. And the rings are not just across all playthroughs; it's one playthrough. Well, I mean, you can go to New Game Plus, obviously, but it's one character. Fortunately, I selected said ring because I saw a ring and I'm like, well, I need to get all rings. I'm going to pick the ring as the option. So I got the ring, so I was fine. The other new ring they introduced was this ring of longevity, and you get it through buying the digital deluxe edition, which I did not know because they didn't make that clear, or you can get it by getting the 0.5 drop percent in Dark World Tendency. Now this was I talked about this earlier, where there's a certain item you need to get to upgrade a weapon, and it has a 0.5 drop percentage.
That's right. It was RNG based.
I mean, to the nth degree. In this level, this one character has a 0.5 drop percentage, so a 99.5% that they're not going to drop said item in Dark World Tendency. And so basically, I'm fucked out of this ring unless I want to spend X number of hours trying to grind said item.
Fortunately though for you, you got yours in the one ring, and there is technically a path to the other. For me, there's no path unless I want to shell out another $35.
So I can't. But similar to you, where I literally can't buy I can't spend the extra $15 to buy and it's a digital deluxe edition, so I can't even buy like the disc version.
Portion, right?
And I can't give them money. When you go to the PSN store, it says unavailable because you own the base game. So it's a very, very similar process. However, there is option number 3, which I'm choosing option number 3, where you can co-op in said game. And when you co-op in said game, you can drop items to other players in game. So I just need to find someone with a digital deluxe edition, co-op with them, and have them drop me the ring to get the item needed to complete all rings edition. So, but yeah, unlike you, I can attain the piece necessary, but I'd much rather just throw for Blue Point the extra $10 or whatever option. But it just blows my mind that I literally cannot get this digital deluxe edition, or can't pay for the extra content or anything, because it's locked behind this imaginary wall. So.
Well, and what really got to me was that discussing it with the first person I spoke with at PlayStation support was just a dead end. I could tell they're just, more entry level, and I'm trying to.
Well, they have no authority to do anything.
Exactly. So I asked them to have a manager. I wanted to speak with a manager, Karen style, and they said, "Well, one isn't available right now. Would you like them to call you back?" Yes. So call me back 4 hours later. Answered the call, and I'm pretty sure it was the exact same chick I spoke to the first time, faking that she was a different person, because she was also a complete dead end. They take this hardline stance behind this ultra rigid and inflexible policy that is in of itself ridiculous. Like, I'm trying to give you more money. Like, give me the money back and let me give you the more money, and you can give me the other version. It's no different than if I were to...
They can't even beyond giving you the money back. You can't even you can't even buy it, even if you wanted to re-spend double plus.
Well, I could, but this is the difference between me going to a Target and buying a bag of Lay's potato chips, and then going back to Target and being like, "Oops, I bought the small bag. I wanted the big bag, the family size," and Target being like, "No, fuck you. You can't return this little bag for a bigger bag and buy the bigger bag."
Well, you ate half the bag. You have half the piece of Tony.
So fucking dumb. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's the same game.
Yeah, it is the same game. Which is why I was wondering if you could just skirt the rules that other way. So, but like you said, there's no assurances that you get your money back.
In the disc version?
Do
they offer it on a disc version?
It is on. Can you buy the digital edition on PSN? Can you buy the digital edition or no? Because that's the problem.
It's only I bought the digital edition, but
I know. But that's the problem I'm running into Demon Souls is the digital deluxe edition. Is that just at the digital deluxe edition? They don't sell the disc version, and when I go
this is branded also the digital deluxe edition. So
I'm thinking you're running into the same problem I am, where you literally cannot. You can't, if you wanted to rebuy the entire...
No, I can rebuy it. I have the other one in my cart right now. I could buy it.
I can't even
add... another $35.
I can't
even... it won't let you add it?
Content.
Siege?
Maybe it gets the whole...
So, CJ, you can't add the Demon Souls digital deluxe into your cart even? It says purchase?
To buy,
If
I want to spend the $90 to get the one ring I needed to buy the thing again, it won't let me. It says unavailable. And I look into why. It's because it says...
So you have a slightly different problem than mine. Huh. Yours, you straight up can't solve with money. I'm unwilling to solve with money. But you still have a path, however ridiculous, to get what you want.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. So...
they need to fucking sort that shit out.
They sure do. Because that's some ridiculous horseshit.
Let us give you money.
And it's just
well, or just be honest, right? Like you guys said, I want to play this game. I'm gonna play this game. I don't want to
sound like an entitled
You're
asshole.
not.
But
you want to play this game.
Like I told these people, it's like I spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars with y'all folks every year. I fuck up this one time and you can't do right by me. That's cold-blooded as shit.
Well, like you guys said, you're gonna buy it again and keep on playing it. Like it's there's got to be something they can do.
There is.
That's part of the. Yeah, they refuse to.
It's just that the
but
way
you got to figure this out
the
with
PSN
digital
is built,
content.
man.
If you want people to buy no disc consoles and do everything digitally, they've got to sort this shit out because you're gonna have way more digital problems like this.
Because if Grandma bought me the extra special whatever bullshit edition on disc, or the regular edition, and I wanted the extra special bullshit edition, I go take my gift receipt to fucking Target and switcheroo. No problem.
Yep.
It's I mean, I think that the PSN is just built on this like bubble gum and fucking duct tape where it's just like, man, I can't do this or that or the other, and it's just they need to iron this out. You're right, Dia. If they want to go to this all digital edition,
it should be smart enough to understand that I own the regular edition, and that if I want to buy the digital deluxe edition, I pay the difference.
Yes, there should be an upgrade SKU.
It gets to the whole like my brother and I am experiencing, like playing our games. Like I own a PS5. I have both versions downloaded for some unknown fucking reason. Why are you defaulting to the PS4 version of the game, A? Yeah. And B, if I delete the PS4 version, why do you re-download it and re-back default to the PS4 version on the PS5? It's all built in this fucking duct tape and bubblegum, man. It's just...
Large corporations,
Xbox
aren't they great?
That's right, man. Smart delivery. So.
Well, smart delivery. I don't know about their. I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna badmouth or good mouth them. I'm not gonna give Xbox credit where I don't know credit is due. Like if I pulled the same shit with Xbox, how would their customer service treat me? I don't know.
For a DRM.
I'm just grinding another X, I guess. I'm trying to shoehorn that into my whole rant.
Trying to shove a lot of X's in there.
I'm pissed.
All right.
It takes a lot for me to get pissed.
So we're going to play that off. That concludes our 20th episode of the Raw Cuts Gaming Podcast. Thank you to listener for listening to all of our bullshit relating to video games. We hope you join us each and every week for more Raw Cuts Gaming. If you'd like to be part of the conversation or just tell us how much you hate us, we definitely encourage you to reach out to us on the Twitters at Raw Cuts Gaming. If you'd like to see this pod recording on YouTube, check out the Raw Cuts Gaming channel. And if you don't like any of that shit, you can find us on your favorite podcast audio-only.
Or fuck off.
You can or fuck yourself. You can also email us at rawcutsgaming@gmail.com.
But self-love is good, so you do that.
What's that?
So, I mean, don't fuck off, but self-love is good, you know what I'm saying?
It's true. All love is good here. You can reach me on Twitter at NakedGamer84 and on the Twitchers at noob_NakedGamer. Woodsy, where can people find you?
You can find me at Woods_or_Wads with a Z on Twitter. And believe it or not, I started this episode sober.
No, you didn't.
I don't believe you.
He's never sober. CJ, where can people find you?
Not sober anymore.
If you want to find your resident trophy hunting host, you can find me on Twitter at CJ Reindahl.
Thanks everyone for coming. Ryan, go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Hashtag our friend Ryan.
Hashtag our friend Ryan. Shout out to Dirty D for the best Thanksgiving shit. Good job, D. Way to smoke everything.
Including polls.
Yeah, that's right.